think it makes sense for a new producer to sign on with a more established producer?
Well, I think in some cases it works, some cases it doesn't, in regards to producers signing with other producers, you know what I mean? It all depends. I think in most cases, you need somebody to help you get into the business. So if there's a producer who's already got a ton of work that he got to finish, but he can't do it himself, and then you're an upcoming producer looking for work, that could be a beautiful situation, you know what I mean? So, okay, well, yo, man, I got so much work, I can't do it all, but here, you could do some of it, and we split the money and credit. And the issue happens that everybody who comes in usually wants to become their own person, too. So that's kind of where, you never really anticipate when that break happens, you never anticipate for that. You have to anticipate for that as the producer who's the one putting the younger guy on, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, everybody want to be their own man, and he's not coming to be a producer under you for the rest of his career. He wants to grow. So at that point, you have to be mature enough to understand, whoever you bring on, you're basically going to be a stepping stone for their career, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, it's a tough pill for producers to swallow, you know what I mean? Like for me, I was blessed to be able to work with a company called Noontime. It wasn't based on producers, they were all executives who discovered producers and writers, and so their initiative wasn't like, oh well, these guys are coming in to take us out. You know what I'm saying? Their initiative was like, no, our whole purpose is to develop and create producers. That was our, they were not producers. Mm-hmm. We were. They were the executives and the creatives. That's why it worked so well for so long, because for them it was no ego involved. They weren't trying to be produced by Chris Ryan and Noonie for Noontime. You know what I'm saying? It was us, and they got the leverage in the buildings, and we got what we needed from a monetary perspective and from a visible perspective in the music business. We got on without having to worry about our credits being screwed up, without having to worry about somebody taking credit for something. You know what I mean? All the things that young producers feel like they get, stifled or feel like they get, that happens to them. You know what I mean? We didn't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? So every secondary deal we did, whether it was them do the deal with Puff, whether it was, them do the deal with So Def for me, like all the deals were, we didn't have no hiccups, no problems. Everything was great, because their particular perspective, they weren't trying to be producers. They were trying to put us in play. So,
Do you mentor any producers?
Yeah, I've mentored a lot of songwriters and producers over the years. I don't talk about it a lot because I want them to shine. What I learned from being around Noontime was that, nobody can be better at me than doing me than me. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I have that concept, I have no problem helping producers and putting producers on and giving them advice and even giving them, work. For me, it's not about, it's about the long haul, right? So I might have helped somebody who 10 years down the line might be the next Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? And I might need him to come back and look out for your boy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in my mid-40s. You just never know who you help. So you try to help as many people as you can without compromising and sacrificing yourself. But if you got a lane to help somebody, and do it. I've been pretty successful at it. You know what I mean? With the producers I've helped and songwriters I've helped along the way.
You alluded to no one can be you.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be you better than anyone. Have you ever had executives come at you and ask you to, be like someone else or give a certain sound where it wasn't what you wanted to do?
I mean, you always get that. They chart chase. You see the top 20 or the top 10, and then you say, okay, well, can you make a record like so? It happens. But I think the older you get and the more seasoned you get in the business, people respect what you do and they come for what you do. You know what I mean?
That's good.
I've been in this business for a long time, so now I think that when I get calls and things of that nature, I mean, unless I have something specific, I did a different sound. for this particular artist, yo, I want y'all to hear it's gonna be crazy. Because I have something specific, you know, I get calls, I pretty much get calls for people who want Bryan-Michael Cox, you know what I mean? And not a watered down version, and not me trying to be somebody else, you know. They want what I provide from a musical landscape, you know what I mean?
Did you hear about the story with Pharrell and the number of times he had to write Happy? Did you hear that story?
I've heard the story.
Have you had a similar situation where you were pushed on a record?
Yeah, you know, I've been blessed where I've been in positions where I haven't had to be, you know, pushed that many times, but it's been, you know, times in the past where we rewrite verses, rewrite hooks, rewrite, you know, revamp the whole record, or what I used to do back in the day, if one person wrote to a beat and it was cool, somebody else would write to it, it was cool, then I'll write to it, and then, you know what I mean? And you see out of the best 4 or 5, you say, okay, which, you know, out of 4 or 5, which one's the best, you know what I mean? You know, it's just like, you know, a little inner competition in us, you know what I mean, to make whatever record better. You know what I mean? We feel like it's got potential, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just nail it. Sometimes, you know, you go to the studio with Brandon Case and they just nail it. You know, you go to the studio with John Taylor and just nail it. And you go to the studio with Adonis and they just nail it. But there are times we just sit there, you know, we might be banging our heads up against the wall sometimes, you know what I mean?